FCT minister or political allies of the FCT minister, whichever words to suit you best. And that's what many believe have been the narrative over time. And so they're asking, if the idea is to settle this and we now have a reconciliation, shouldn't we therefore see appointments that would have some people from those people that were said to be loyalists of the governor, who are more in line with the governor's idea of politics? Shouldn't we have some of those people also getting appointments into some of these boards to help the sole administrator with his work, and also ultimately, sanctify the peace and solidify the peace politically that we have in Rivers State? Should that not be the case? That's also another question some people are asking. But however, what we can only say is, after the exhaustion of 6 months, we then know what happens. But think about it. So the governor would then come. Is he going to then work with these people? Is it that the SOLAD administrator is making appointments for the governor? Or is just making appointments to help him do his work, like he stated, and what the gazettes provided for him to do that brought about the state of emergency and described his role and function in the state of emergency, which some people, if I might remind you, still disagree with. A lot of people still don't agree with his appointments and why he goes about appointed. They don't agree with it. But this is what it is, so we can't just go back and start weeping that again anymore. That's what it is now. But if these appointments are appointments being made on behalf of the governor, are these people going to be there when the governor comes and the governor would have to work with them? That's a big question, because ideally you would only think that these appointments were made to aid the sole administrator for the time that the state of emergency is in place, to help him do his work. That would mean things like even the local government administrators. Remember, the local government administrators, there was a cry. People didn't want it, but then some other people made the reasonable point of the administrator cannot, from where he's doing, manage things in the local government. He needs to make appointments there. So those people would help him and do what they have to do. And that was how local government administrators came about. And people saw the reason why, okay. So these ones as well, are they also helping to aid the sole administrator do his work? And thirdly, this one is the one that's very critical. I would like us to think about this one. When the governor returns, does he have a right to go to court and say he needs to complete his term? Because if you think about it now, 6 months of his term, he wasn't fully in office. He wasn't fully operational. It was just, yes, the title of governor was there, but he was not in office because he was suspended. So technically it means he's not doing 4 years now. That would be 3 years and what? 3 years and 6 months? So there's 6 months unaccounted for. Can he go to court and say, no, constitutionally I should do 4 years when I get elected, and I have not done that? What happens with my 6 months? I mean, we saw a case like this in Anambra State. Then it was Peter Obi, who the House came together, impeached. They went to court and said the process, questioned the process and let the law speak. And eventually, after a while, he came back. And then the time that he was out, he had to serve that time. I went back and said, oh, okay, this impeachment thing that they did, okay, now the court has said, but I was this amount of time. I was not in office, so. And the court saw it. And that's why we have what we have with the calendar year in Anambra State. It was because of then Governor Peter Obi. Could same thing happen in Rivers State? Or perhaps the governor would just say, oh, everybody will say, we are looking for peace. No need for being just. We're looking for peace. So let's leave it and just everybody move on. What would be the situation? And ultimately, the question I'll be asking for those of us who are on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's the Facebook handle, by the way. Just in case you haven't joined our Facebook family, get on Facebook now at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH and join the conversation. The question on Facebook is whether you see the appointees of the SOLAD working with the governor upon his return, or would the governor make his own appointments when he returns, if he returns. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002. Let's start. Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, my brother, man.
All right, good morning to you.
Thank you. My name is Good News. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay.
First of all, the governor, I don't see the governor making any appointment because he threw in the power. For me, I'm talking because what is happening is an insult to the seat of the governor, not insult to Simulai Fubara, not insult to the deputy governor, Professor Mugozima, but it's an insult to our own seat, the seat of River State, where I belong to, where I'm come from, where God brought me into. That somebody will just be toiling with the seat. How will the governor sit? And somebody, they will just move him. Somebody will come and decide how his house will look like. Then bring him back. Just because he says he's doing peace. If he wanted to be a governor, he could have resigned early. Let us know that we are dealing with illegality in the state. And let them do to us what they want to do to us. And for somebody to sit in his own tenure, who does that? In no area, even ordinary youth chairman, you cannot give that to ordinary youth president. And today, it is happening. One thing I'm pattern about is that tomorrow, if another person becomes a president, people will not be there tomorrow. Buhari has gone. If another person becomes a president and behaves like this, will these some persons cry? Will they shout? I'm pained. My name is Good News.
All right, Good News. Miro in Africa, although I was hoping that you would answer some of the questions I asked, but you didn't too. Even if from how you sounded, we could tell. Miro from Africa, good morning.
Hello, Shemi, good morning.
Yes.
This is your Africa woman.
Okay.
You see me, I keep wondering. I'm just questioning the personality of the president, with all due respect. How can the president allow all this to go on? Because clearly, UK cannot do this on its own. It's the president that gives all the power. How can the president allow this? You see me, Governor still made a very, very serious mistake. Very, very serious mistake for his political career. Don't he know that your supporters are your lifeline as a politician? You see your supporters, those that are supporting you, looking for you outside, they are your lifeline, your life support, your oxygen. How dare you cut off your oxygen? You don't want to breathe. What did Wike do? Did Wike come and dismantle the Wiskebatis? Don't you see how he's rewarding them? Don't you see how he's rewarding all of them?
What if that's part of the agreements for the settlements that the peace that we could have I mean, the idea of the peace, perhaps. What if this is the idea of what we describe as peace in River State politics?
But should not be one-sided. Why doesn't we come and dismantle the Wiskebatis? You just cut off the oxygen, keep your supporters lifeless. Just some of them are just living up and yet they are making one of the they are making this person this. All your supporters is just this. It is so wrong. Now for the governor, if he comes, will he be able to work with these people? Is it part of the agreement? Work with people, local government, everybody. I've not seen this kind of thing. It's just handicapped. How can we allow it? For me, I cannot accept it, even as a woman. So handicapped, so useless. You are not useless as a governor. You don't have any life support. Everybody is even worse than when we appointed some for you. Don't you see me? It has become worse. It has gotten even worse. So what's the point of the fight in the first place? Why don't you just enjoy the first one? Because the second dose now is even worse than the first dose. So why don't we do? Why was the point of all the fight? There is no need. It shouldn't even challenge anything in court. It should just come, sit down, be just and just let them hold his hand. That right thing. Let them hold his hand and be striving for him with the rest. Let him not hold it anymore. Let him just hand over the rest for them. They will hold his hand and sign it because that's what it should do. Because there is nothing to do anymore. No need to go to the court. Thank you.
Ken in Ubimini, good morning. Good morning, Ken.
You hear me? I think the appointee will work with governor because I believe that is the agreement that led to the peace we are observing now. But if you ask me, the Abuja leaders had laid ambush against the incoming governor and not the suspended governor any longer. Thank you very much. Ezekiel, call it from Mubumi.
All right, Ezekiel. He says ambush. Do you think it's an ambush being laid? Temple from Eche, good morning.
Good morning, the very distinguished Ifemi.
Go
I
on.
think you asked an important question. But first of all, looking at the question you asked, and how this issue and the tussle of leadership and who will have his way or not, how it all started. And you begin to think back what transpired when the governor came on board. How was the appointment made? Who referred? Who nominated before the governor announced? For me, what is happening now, I'm not surprised. The governor has made peace. He has told us that we all work together. And the last time I also checked, the atmosphere will determine the product we produce. So if these were all the problems, don't you think this appointment will be made before the return of the governor? And when the governor returns back, based on what he has told us, and based on what has happened, he has no other option than to work with these people in order to sustain that peace. Because doing the otherwise, doesn't that also tell us that the peace will be truncated? Let's be honest to ourselves, brother. The very distinguished Ifemi Andrew. So I think the governor needs to work with them. If he has to suspend this peace of a fight, some of us, even me, we end up, bringing enmity to ourselves, even though we stood our ground in defending the truth. But at the end of the day, the governor came and put us on the ground. But for me, again, returning back, he has to work with people.
For more talk, news and sports, stay tuned to Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back after this.
Your point clearly. Blessed is on the line from Alu. Chima is also on the line from Rimokuta. Unfortunately, we cannot attend to your calls now. We have to go take a commercial first. When we're done with that, we come back and continue with more reactions from you. On Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. The appointments that are being made by the SOLAD administrator, are they there to work with the SOLAD administrator to help him accomplish the peace he says he is in the state to resolve and bring to bear politically? Or are they also going to remain there and work with the governor? Or will the governor make his own appointments when he returns? We'll find out after the break what you think.
Info.
This morning, my name is Ifeyemi Andrew, and already we started off outlining some possible angles that you might want to question or looking at the appointments of the sole administrator of Rivers State in recent times, and most recently constituting members of 8 different boards, including Rwama and some of the tertiary institutions in the state. And of course, that would bring a lot of reactions. But what's very important is whether these appointments are for the governor when he returns or are just there to aid the sole administrator do his work and ensure that development gets to some of these areas. Because, of course, him alone in his office would not be able to tell what is happening in all of these places. And if you have these individuals there, then you have people you can talk to and can give you information, and you know how to better handle some of these issues. So is that what this is, or is it a case of they are going to be there, and then when the the emergency is lifted, the governor is going to come and inherit all of these people and continue working with them? Or would he make his own appointments? That's the question. That's what a lot of people are looking at. How is this going to play out? What's going to happen? We'll go back to the phone lines and get your thoughts. For those of us who are on Facebook, we'll be taking your comments shortly. If you haven't joined the Facebook family, you can do that now. Get on Facebook and search for Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That's the handle. Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. That is the handle. 0817-923-0002 or 0817-923-0003. You can also call 0817-923-0007. Those are some of the numbers you can call to get through to us this morning on the show. Meanwhile, let's go over to Facebook and take some of your comments. Several of them already coming in. And okay, so do you see the appointees of the SOLAD working with the governor when he returns, or is he going to make his own appointments? There's nothing left for the governor to appoint when he returns to Brick House. He should just be there signing papers for sole administrator appointees. Thank God ability. Dumale David said, if the foundation is broken, what can the righteous do? Tamna Tekana said, they would work with the governor as professionals, but no personal relationship. They're obviously not his appointees. If they're not his appointees, would they feel answerable to him? That's the. I mean, in football, that's what a lot of people relate with. In football, that's why it's funny. In football, it's just same cycle. A new coach comes in, and there are old players there. Now, amongst the old players, he looks at the ones that he feels can match what he wants to do, and others who he feels are not. They are sold, or they are let out. They're shown the way out, and they have to leave. And then they bring in the people that he knows would align with what he has on ground. And that's why you hear people say, give the coach time. He needs at least one preseason. He needs to have his own signings. He needs to have. So how come those things and those principles we don't think it would apply here? Because if we're saying that these appointments were made by someone else, unless behind the scene the governor has input that we don't know in deciding the people that would be there. There's also the part of those people who had served with the governor before all of this brouhaha, who are set to be followers of the governor now. What happens to them? Because in all of the appointments, we've not heard their names, at least many of them. Maybe some have entered, I don't know, you can tell me. But we've not heard any of them. And if there's a reconciliation, people would think that the SOLAD came to solve a problem and bring political stability and peace. It would have to be, okay, these are two people fighting. Bring some of yours, bring some of yours. Maybe one person will have more and one person will have less. No wahala, but let's come to an agreement. But some people are saying that for what we are seeing, everything seems to be just on one side. It is one person having to surrender everything he has, and the other person has to stand. And that's when the peace will be seen as peace. That's what some of you are saying. Well, all these appointments are waste of time and waste to loot. That's Zephaniah John. Blessed the Lord says, the new appointees of the sole administrator is commendable, because it seems to me that it's condemnable. They can't work with the governor. Oshile Muzochi says the governor will have to work with them. He's left with no other option. He's coming to act according to the script already written by some individuals. None of the governor's loyalists are among these appointments, and someone is telling us they have resolved their differences. Thank God, ability at Twigbu. Well, there are many more places for people to be appointed into, so maybe you can't tell now. There are many more, so let's wait and see what happens. In the meantime, Bright in Rubodumaya, good morning.
Good morning, CME.
Yeah.
I think if you ask me, I would tell the governor to accept the appointees. These are mercenaries that brought him into power, not by working with those that, let me say, the enemies of River State that was against him when he was contesting as a governor. So let him work with him. They are good people. I also want to say congratulations to Samuel Wanotike. These are good heads that will make state move forward. And for those that are complaining, they should stop complaining. The administrator is doing his good work. So let him continue. Even when he will leave office, you will see that at the end of the day, River State will move forward. Things will start working well. So even for the election that will come up, good hands are there. Like the Obiapo, both of them, the running mate and the chairman itself, they are all PhD holders, former classroom teachers. So if both in education and any other way, they will do well. I'm talking about Dr. Mrs. Nunyeche. So from Romodmaya and so on, and give to Wallo of Choba. So these are good heads. So congratulations to the...
All right, Bright, thank you. From NTA Road, Mufasa, good morning.
Yeah, hi, Andrew. Good morning.
Yes.
Well, Andrew, I am going to try to be as objective as I could because, issues like this, people usually like to bring in, political sentiment. But I want to ask, where is the rationality in appointing people to work with a government? I can't really wrap my head around it. Like the rightly said, it is deep all forms of logic that the government comes and begin to work with people that does not get his vetting. If truly the governor is the leader of the state. One would have expected that, the sole administrator and, all his associates would have just accorded the governor a little respect. Let us even assume that they recommend this one for the governor to appoint himself. Rather, they chose to humiliate the office of the governor by appointing people for a governor who is in his right sense of mind and thinking. For me, I would maybe think that it's just another ploy to provoke the governor so that they can extend the current arrangement in place in River State. As you appoint somebody to work with the governor, it doesn't hold water. And let me also say that it doesn't matter who is benefiting from this arrangement today. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are setting a very dangerous precedent that people will reference to tomorrow and do the same thing just because it has been done before. We should do what is right. For me, what is happening now is completely unfortunate and pathetic. Thank you.
All right, Mufasa, Tobin from Rumiwo, good morning. Let's also not forget, like I earlier mentioned, it's also possible that the governor has input in this. So we don't know what's happening in the background. My major question is these appointments that the SOLAD makes. How does it get the names? Who recommends these people? Because we then also have to look at the quality of individuals and their history and their credibility and whether they are even fit for it and they can deliver on the job that they are appointed to do. There's also that conversation altogether that would take another whole 1 hour, which would not even be enough. But to even ask, who nominates these individuals that the SOLAD appoints? Looking at the fact that he is new in the state, he has not been here for a long time, and not very conversant with the politics and people and the players in the politics of Rivers State. So it means he might need people that he speaks to, gets advice from, and so on and so forth. So who nominates these individuals for him to appoint? That's also a very critical question. 0817-923-0007, 0817-923-0002. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Mr. Ike, I'm calling from Rukboko. I want to...
Okay, go on.
Hello?
Go ahead. We can hear you. Go on, Mr. Ike.
Okay, Mr. Andrew.
Yes.
I think for me, this matter is something else. And up till now, I'm still surprising that court has not given judgment on this issue. And if I were Fubara, I would have honorably resigned and then contest 2027. That's just my opinion. Thank you.
Okay, then. Emeka from Owerri, good morning.
If you hear me, good morning.
Good morning.
If you hear me, I don't think the Rivers State people has realized the political consequence and economic consequence of what is happening in the Rivers State in the last few months. See, let me tell you, I had one of the callers that said that former governor cannot be blamed. I disagree 1,000%. See, the way we used to give one proverb, the River State Ogiri lo lanu talaga ti wonu e tobi e ba ti lanu alagbo le wonu in Ogiri yẹn meaning there is the wall that got cracked that let lizard to enter inside the wall. If the wall did not crack, lizard cannot enter inside. There is no way you can explicate former government. Even let me tell you, if you hear me, I don't even blame too much. I blame your former governor. You have all the shenanigans that's going on in River State. I blame him more than even the president. See, let me tell you, the so-called peace in quote, peace, I use in quote, because I don't know what is going on. I don't know the kind of peace. Because peace is relative. Maybe it's speak for the governor, not for people of River State. Otherwise, what is happening now, for my own view, is what I have discussed in Abuja. I tell you, and more consequences are about to come. These are the consequences of the agreement. There's no way, take it or leave it. The Minister of Energy will never allow this the Subara to stay there and command and control whatever is happening in River State. The target is to target River State against 2027 and get the structure, political structure of River State. If anybody like it, if they don't like it, what I'm telling you is what is going on now is agreement they met in Abuja. And the Subara has no option that maybe the peace is talking about is his own personal peace, not the peace of River people. But I want to tell you what is happening in River State. The consequence will soon come, and the River will realize the damage. What is going on now is going to cause it is very bad.
All right, Chima from good morning.
Is that Femi? Good morning.
Yep, go on.
Is that Femi? Most of these things should not be over-emphasized because government is continual. The governor have no option other than for him to work with them. If he doesn't like it, maybe he can go ahead and sack them. Then we will fight him again the way we fought him before. But the issue is that he wasn't elected there to have loyalty. That he was elected there to govern people of River State. And all those other persons he will have discrepancies with people of River State. By then it was not lopsided when he was doing those things. And if I may, as we earlier said here in this your station, that these persons are buccaneers according to my brother Wike. They have never met to the people of River State because ordinarily they never wished Fuba to become the governor. So they were not able to put this Fuba, they were against Wike. So anything that they would say to insult Wike, that's what they asked for. Now what am I saying is that if you think that how other ministers been working, we have not done the appointment. Yes, he has been managing them. Meanwhile, something for people, that's the way you ask, how did he manage to get the name? For a man, an intelligence officer as he has retired, that has been in the state for almost 5 months, he will say he can search for good head. People that can do things that will make things work out.
What about the ones he appointed in the first, I think, 2 months?
Yeah, you understand what I just said here now?
No, I'm saying, if I agree with you on this one, you say 5 months he has sourced, that's how he got these names. The people he appointed in, I think, the first 2 months or thereabout, what of those names? Was it that he also sourced within 1 month and got them?
Is it not possible?
I'm asking you. You are the one saying that.
We have done such thing. We're talking about the matter at hand now. Yeah, so Mr. Temi, the governor, when he comes back, I am not here to embellish or to come and economize my statement because the governor actually did me bad. I know what I would have done by now, and he did me bad. So he has no option. He will work with these people. And you, me and you, we know that Samuel Wana Siki as one of the appointees. He has done very well for himself and for people of River State in all the positions he has had. So for him to have come into Rwanda, you know what's going to me. So he will work with them. If he doesn't want to work with them, we are not beating, we are not begging him. We will school him to work with them.
All right, Chima. You said you will fight the governor if he doesn't work with them. I'm trying to understand what the fighting means. If anyone isn't performing, they should be. The governor has a right to relieve them of their duty. Unfortunately, if they are not performing well, but then I think I get your point. In Nigerian politics, it is not usually that way, and that's the reason why JAM did what they did, and nobody has been fired. That's the reason why what happened in WAEC happened. Nobody has been fired. That's the reason why insecurity is how it's going. But service chiefs before, remember the Buhari time, the same thing. We have to scream and scream. What happened in Benue happened, and guess what? Everybody is still holding their offices and doing what they are doing. This is Nigeria. So from that perspective, I get what you are saying. Clearly, if we supported in the election, we worked for you to become there. Whether or not I'm doing well in the office you appoint me into, you can't fire me. You can't go and bring another person that thinks he knows the job. That's basically what you're saying. Jude from Amuma, good morning.
Yeah, Jude Ubani from Amuma.
Go on.
Your question. These are appointees. Well, maybe we work with the governor, but we not work for him. If he is a governor, and from the federal appointment to the state appointment, he did not nominate those, or he did not even approve of any of them being appointed. The question is, why is he a governor? There's no need calling him governor. The people appointed will not work for him. I see a state-managed, or let me use this language, the capture or conquering of River State, just holding the governor hostage like what people call Oche Baba. They just turn him around, position him where the Baba wants the chair to be. If he's a governor, he has to do his appointment. Those he thinks fit. I see a situation again where the chopper is hovering around me. I see a situation where the six months timeline will not work. If the 6 months timeline will ever work, why is the sole administrator in a hurry, in a space of 2 months or 1 month plus now, to make these appointments? You can see that they have something in their mind, ulterior motive, which River State cannot be told. 1 month plus, he's making these appointments. 8 board appointments have been rolled out today. So, I feel so bad.
All right, Jude.
River State will be so captured.
Thank you, Jude.
Turning us around.
All right. But let's also put in perspective, it's not out of place for, some appointments to be given to, if people worked with you, worked for you, with you to, emerge victorious in whatever task, and then rewards have to be given. Yes, it is not out of place to have a conversation and say, okay, how do we reward some of these individuals? That's understandable. However, it has to be done from a place of proper negotiations and alignment. And above all, it has to be done looking at competency of the people amongst them are not done because of politics, because now the elections are over and the next plan will be how do we develop and improve the governance of our people, and we have to find the right people in the right places to do this and do that. If it's about rewards, there are many other ways to reward people that work with or worked for, many other ways. That's why I said let's also not be in a hurry to conclude. It might be possible that the governor behind the scenes is also making inputs, and some of the people there are people that he also feels are okay, good. It's also possible that he did not make any input, and whoever is anywhere, the SOLAD administrator decided that these are all the people he wants. That's also very possible. Dakoko from Ichie, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Dakoko from Abokiche.
Go on.
Let me go ahead, my brother. You see, this government we are talking about, the Rivers local government. Listen to me, my brother. You see,
Dakoko, unfortunately, we can't hear you clearly. We have to move on to Alu now. Blessed is waiting. Good morning, Blessed.
Good morning, my brother. I'm Fiemi Andrew.
All right.
Pertaining the new appointment of Samuel Ononsuke and others is lopsided, is condemnable, and the ideology of SOLAD is not a good idea at all. If you see this controversial local government election that is coming, the APC, PDP that they are selected, not even primary election, none of the simplified person, none of the loyalists to the governor, in Fubara, is been choosing to be among the flag bearer of the party, which is condemnable. Now you are appointing the Wikematic people. Now is it the part of agreement that they made in Abuja that none of the simplifiers should be appointed anymore? You should also be appointed of Wikematic people. My brother, where are we heading to? There was a day I said that if Rivers State, it is unfortunate that Rivers State doesn't have somebody who will speak for them. All this thing that is going on, just a month ago now, the appointment you gave to this either with Mama or not to Mama, it's not done. It's not welcome, my dear. Now you have sifted the people that loyal to the governor, to the war, because they don't know where to go again. So that this thing that we are talking about is a structure that is the complaint in the FCC minister. And you go for it for years, no interruption from any angle. And now Governor Fubara is governing the state because he said the River State is for River State money is for River State people. You see the way that they are doing it, and the president, who supported the FCC minister to go ahead with this thing, which is uncovered. It's not done. We don't know River State like this. We need peace in River State. We should allow River citizens to breathe fresh air. That's my own concern. Thank you very much, Blessed for Malo.
All right. Thank you, Blessed. On to Facebook now, some messages here. Ibn Abawa says, my greatest pain is this entire situation is total silence and deliberate delay of the courts in making pronouncements. They know the numerous wrong constitutional infractions, but have chosen to delay pronouncement. Adindu Okiri says, Femi Andrew, you're still asking who appoints or nominates these names? Yes, now I have to ask. I don't know who nominated. Or do you know? With immediate alacrity, the answer is the FCT minister. Who is the leader of the governor? Okay, Adindu Okiri. That's your postulation, right? Clement Adigizi says, what is good for Bala is also good for Bulus. So the governor have a right to scrap all the appointees made by the SOLAD and continue with his full cabinet. Thanks. Chima say if he does it, they will fight him more. Joseph David said, it beats my imagination. Okay, we lost that message. No Ichie person made that list. Thank God Ability Atuegu sent that one. No, okay. There are several callers we have from Ichie I didn't hear on the show today. Mrs. Ucheken, there's another person. Where's that guy? Since you mentioned no Ichie person, I know that they're very vocal. Some of the callers very vocal about putting Ichie on the map and in the front of happenings in the politics of Rivers State. Well, perhaps in the future we'll hear more from people in Ichie. Good morning. That's how much we can take. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation. If you haven't joined One Play, yes, very important. Do that now with just 500 naira. Get online, oneplay.com, and join in, register. And today, tomorrow, yes, the mega jackpot will be coming. So be a part of it. Good morning.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.